Good morning. It's Sunday, February 1st, and it's warmed up a little bit. It's 11 degrees, so still pretty chilly here in the Northeast. Doing a quick video because I have an update. This past Friday, I went to my cataract surgeon for a consultation to get my left eye scheduled for a lens replacement, and had a long conversation with this guy. He's great. He's one of the best in New York City, and he advised to play it safe and go with a monofocal lens that matches my right eye. And there's a number of reasons. So first off, I have an astigmatism in both eyes, and some other factors just with the shape of my eye that may make a multifocal lens or one of these newer fancy lenses problematic. So he suggested we go the safe route and match my right eye. The only downside to that is that I will need reading glasses from this point forward, because right now I'm reading with my left eye. My right eye that has a lens replacement already, there's no reading with that one unless I have a reading lens. My hands are so cold, I might pause this and throw my gloves on because it's very cold. Hold on one sec. Okay, we're back. I got gloves on. It is not the kind of weather that you want to have any kind of skin exposed. So it's like 11 degrees, but the wind chill is pretty brutal. So I'm just out walking the dogs, doing a quick video. So I saw my cataract surgeon. This will be the 6th eye surgery, and hopefully the last one. But again, I think I mentioned briefly that because of my particular situation in terms of having, retinal surgeries, LASIK surgery about, over 10 years ago, all of these things, have to be factored into the decision you make for the lens replacement. And since I had the LASIK surgery, it actually changes the math a little bit when they're trying to figure out your perfect prescription for the lens. So they have to kind of, do some calculations to make sure that everything's dialed in right, because some of the measurements when they scan your eye are a little off because of the LASIK surgery that happened. So they did a great job in my right eye. I got perfect 20/20 vision distance. I just can't read, and I'm almost 50, so maybe that was inevitable anyway. So once I have this surgery, I will have to use reading glasses for reading up close, and that's fine. All said, I'm very fortunate, very lucky that if that's the worst outcome of this eye adventure, then I'm in pretty good shape. And they said the same thing. They said, you're very, very lucky that the retina situation turned out the way it did. So I've accepted the fact that, my eyes are never going to be the way they were. But if I have perfect distance vision and I have to use reading glasses, it's not the worst thing in the world. So that's the update. I'm going to schedule it. I told them I have a very busy March. I'd like to try to get this done in February. But they're not sure because the lens that he thinks is the best for me is a Bausch & Lomb lens, and they only do that surgery at Mount Sinai, New York. So my last surgery was at NYU Langone, which was amazing place. It's like walking into the Starship Enterprise. So we'll see what Mount Sinai's like. We're going to schedule that and get it done, and hopefully put this stuff behind us. Really busy week between work, life, and I've been doing a lot of work in my private life at night. I built an app this week. I wanted an application that was an ambient listening AI application that would kind of be a participant in meetings and offer live analysis. I'll throw a little quick demo at the end of this video if anyone's interested. But I built it in a week at night, and it's really working well. And I think I'm going to package it and make it production ready and put it out into the world because nothing like this exists right now. So I built it because I wanted it. So maybe other people will want it too. And then I've been playing a lot with OpenClaw. So that started out as Claude and the lawyers got involved with Anthropic, and they had to change the name, and they chose Moltbot because it was the icon for this is a lobster, and lobster's molt, and that was a terrible name. So within a few days they changed it to OpenClaw. So I'm running that at home on a pretty powerful machine, a M4 Pro Mac with 64 gigs of RAM, and running into some issues in setting this up the safe way on a segmented VLAN and really tight security. Obviously, if you grant this thing admin rights and you let it go to town, it's a lot easier to set up. But to do it right can get a little complicated. So I may do a video. There's a million videos. Everybody's talking about this thing. It's like the hot new thing. It's like everybody just discovered AI. But it's taken the world by storm. And look at this. This actually never freezes, this canal here. And I bet you can go ice skating on that. And there's really not going to be a break in this weather for a while. We're going to stick in the single digits. It'll, during the day, throughout the week, it'll maybe get into the 20s. But at night, we're in the single digits. And so it's pretty brutal. So anyway, I just want to do a really quick video because it's so cold. And give everyone an update on where I am with the eye stuff. As soon as I schedule that surgery and it's on the books, I'll do a quick video. But we went with Bausch and Lomb. Surgery's going to happen hopefully in February, maybe early March, and maybe this chapter will be behind me once and for all. So I hope everybody's doing great. I think I'll throw a demo of my app on there because I'm pretty proud of it. I put a lot of hours into it at night, and I think it's coming along. So stay safe, everyone. I got to grab the dogs. It looks like another dog is coming. So have a good one. Take care. Okay, I'm going to give a quick overview of the application I've been working on. I'm going to try not to get into the weeds too much. I've been working on this for a little over a week at night. The idea behind this app was to have an AI participant in your meetings doing live analysis of the conversations happening, providing feedback during the meeting, not just after. I leverage AI pretty heavily professionally. I use it to generate meeting notes. Sometimes I'll dump transcripts of meetings into either ChatGPT or Claude and allow that to kind of generate executive level summaries or meeting minutes from meetings. And then I usually cut and paste that into OneNote so that I could stay on top of all the meetings that I have throughout the work week. Sometimes I have dozens per day. Really helpful to have detailed notes from prior meetings. But the idea here was not only to have that summary after the fact, but to have something sitting in the meeting, listening, and providing live analysis or questions in the moment rather than after the fact. And then also kind of help keep some meetings on track. So if there is a follow-up meeting, were there any open questions or action items from a prior meeting that need to be addressed right at the top of the new meeting? So that was the kind of genesis of thinking about, a solution like this. And I couldn't find anything out there in the market that fit the bill. So I had to build it. So this started off in Python. I got the framework functional, and then I now have this in Swift UI. So it's, a nice interface. It looks very iOS-y, glass interface, and it's starting to look professional. And there have been tons of refinements along the way over the past week, and I've really gotten this to a point where I think it's almost production ready. So let me just take you through how it works. So here is the application settings. So meeting intelligence, we're at version 2.0. And what the thought is that you could use one of these large language models to do live analysis and transcription and executive summaries. But the problem is with Claude, OpenAI, or any of the other larger models, you have to pay API credits. So there is a charge associated with leveraging the larger models to do this live analysis and anything that runs, on their ecosystem. So what I did is I added a third option, which is Olama, which is a local LLM that will run on your PC, or and basically this is a free option. Now the analysis is not as good as one of the bigger ones, so I figured I would put the free option in there as an option for people who don't already have pro accounts with these larger models. And if you do, that's great. You could throw your API keys in here and go to town. So I'm going to keep it on Claude for this demo. These are the audio settings, so you can choose what your audio source is. And then here, this is for live analysis. You can change the analysis interval to provide feedback on the meeting in different intervals. So I have it set at 15 seconds. You can go all the way up to 120 seconds. Let's keep it at 15 seconds for the demo. And in the actual app here, I'll take you through some of the settings and just talk briefly about some of the refinements that I've made over the past week. So here's the meeting duration. Here is your LLM of choice that you've selected. Here is a live running cost. So you'll see as a meeting runs, it'll generate a cost. And, usually for an hour-long meeting, we're talking about 30 cents if you use one of the larger models. But if you use that Olama model, it'll be free. Here's your source again. And then here is an option to choose the type of meeting. We'll keep it at general. You can name the meeting here if you'd like. And then here you can add participants. And what this does is builds historical context about different participants that maybe you're in a lot of meetings with. Maybe they ask specific questions repeatedly. And so you can get some kind of profiles on people that are in a lot of your meetings, on a recurring basis. And then I just added this. This is called prep meeting. Now let's say we're having a follow-up meeting to a prior meeting, and we want to just give the AI some context. You can drop notes in here. So let's say you have a OneNote file on the prior meeting. You can just paste the summary into here. And the idea here is that you give the AI some historical context, and it'll open up the meeting right off the top with a list of open questions or action items that need to be addressed first. And then you can also, if you've recorded prior meetings with Meeting Intelligence, you can just select a prior meeting and it'll generate that historical context from what it knows about that prior meeting recording. So I'm going to choose this one here. I don't know if there's any action items or anything from this meeting. I'm just using it as an example. So we hit done, and let's start recording a mock meeting. So here's the meeting context right off the bat. This is from the prior meeting. This was the cost of that prior meeting. You can see here that we are generating API charges here as the meeting goes on, and that should update in real time. But you'll see now you got the context to start the meeting, and now it starts analyzing every 15 seconds of what's being said in the room. So here are some questions, action items of what it's hearing right now. And this is really the magic of this app. And what I wanted to build was an ambient listening AI that not only listens and transcribes, but also provides live running analysis. Oftentimes we're in a meeting, and after the fact you say, oh, I wish I had thought about asking about that during the meeting. So hopefully this kind of will help with just like an extra set of eyes and ears in the meeting, hopefully bringing up key questions that maybe steer the meeting in a more positive direction. And that was really the idea behind this app. I've been coding it at night, and in whatever free time on the weekends, just to get this up and running. But it is running, and you can see we've already been charged about 3 cents for this meeting. I'm going to stop recording here, and immediately it starts generating the summary for you. So then, live analysis stops, the summary's done, here's the transcript of what was just said, and here is the summary. And from here, you could then either email this out or copy it and paste it into OneNote. And this is now in nice markup so that the formatting is pretty instead of just plain text. And that's the gist of the app, and it's pretty much ready to go. Here is your history of prior meetings. You can delete meetings, or you can view the summaries of those meetings right in here. And I'm thinking of maybe nesting follow-up meetings underneath the initial meeting. I have to kind of think about that, whether that makes sense for everybody or if it's just something that I want. And then here, this is one other cool thing that I didn't mention. This is the knowledge base. And what this does is basically allow you to drop markdown files in here if you want to train your AI to generate output that is more in line with your expectations. And I have a lot of history kind of dealing with GPT, and so I have a lot of GPT knows me very well. It knows that I don't like certain things in my summaries. I like things to be in certain formats. So this application will run fine without this stuff, but I threw that in and made the option to kind of tweak your output to your liking. But then again, if you don't have this or you don't want to do this, it's totally fine. The output is perfect no matter what. So that's just one extra thing, genuine need of your own, rather than coming up with an idea that you think people may like. But I guess the question for the public, if this gets released, is does this type of solution that is really built for me actually translate into need for the general public? And that's a question that can only be answered once you release it into the wild. So we'll see. I just wanted to share some progress on this, and it's something that I'm really excited about, and I'm constantly thinking of new features to kind of add into this. And if there's any questions about it, leave a comment, and I will certainly update the community here when this is publicly available. So thanks for watching.